Hey, this is actually the biggest I've been. I'm doing a bad job today. Let's stand up. Sure, let's stand up. Let's do the four-way test. And since you asked if we should stand up, why don't you lead us?
Just say it.
Just say it.
Okay. 1. Is it
True. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Perfect. Thank you. And so since we're on that topic, I better address this. So I hope everyone liked my costume from last week. Just so you know, this is the truth. We want to discuss that because we just talked about it. I didn't want to be disrespectful to Maggie. She said that I did a fantastic job as her. So, I mean, overall decent.
Probably better than I did.
Well, regardless, I tried from everything that she taught me, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. So, yes. So this is the point where we do the visiting Rotarians and guests, but we also have Cindy Sutcliffe, our assistant governor, here, and I don't want to do this in the normal way. I want to make her stand up and do this big introduction and do it in a different way because I figure it's more fun to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
It's not my fault, you said last night. Yeah, it's all right. Absolutely.
Excellent. I have a script.
I would prefer if you did it without the script.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. I mean, I know you're president, but
Governor said to do it without the note.
yeah, I know, but I still can't do it. I botched it up so bad yesterday at my meeting. It was pathetic. Okay, here we go. 2.5 years ago, when Barb Spangler learned that she would be district governor in 2018-2019, she took a deep breath and made Rotary District 5130 a top priority in her life. After many informal club visits and participation in a number of great club projects, Barb has come to love our district and describes the DG experience as the best job ever. It's a brilliant opportunity to be with and work with Rotarians, good people at their very best. In 2010, she retired from GE Healthcare as a clinical research manager in interventional cardiology and promptly joined the Valley of the Moon Rotary Club in Santa Rosa. She has been a club president, assistant governor, district training assembly chair, and a Zone Institute Emerging Rotary Leader Program participant. Barb was born and raised in Boston and holds undergraduate and graduate degrees in the sciences and business from schools in the Boston area. Her career in healthcare technology, research, and development gave her many opportunities to travel, live abroad, and experience the world's economic and cultural diversity. She has been to all 7 continents and recommends Boston for education, New York for fun, Paris for food, Africa and the Galapagos for nature and wildlife, Antarctica for beauty, and District 5130 for Rotary service and friendship. That's pretty cool, huh? When not at Rotary, Barb lives in Santa Rosa with her husband Jim, also a Rotarian, and their dog Buddy, affectionately known as Puppy Silla. So please welcome District Governor Barb Spangler. Scary.
Did we find out who was the other speaker and what other club did you go to?
Yeah, Cindy, could you tell us a little more about yourself? Since you had a script, you didn't
That's a setup, Scott. This club is my favorite club.
That's what we wanted to get you saying.
And when I go to Southwest Eureka, that club is my favorite club. And when I'm doing my weekly meetings in Mad River, that club is my favorite club. But this club actually is my favorite.
Perfect. All right. Let's move on and get some other guests in here. Guest there.
Oh. This is Asher. He's my son. Asher.
Guest-free table in the back.
This is Susan, she's my wife.
Rotarian and former from our club, Wendy Nelson.
Wow. I don't take this wrong. You're not even a guest. You're here. We'll figure that all out someday. Everyone remember recognitions, and at some point, I'm even going to figure out how to use these in these meetings. So I like this. This is kind of... All right. Now I realize I'm not going to go through all of this because there are going to be announcements, but I want to have this up on the board while I yap for a minute. Dick does this fantastic newsletter and he puts all these things out, and I've realized that I'm not putting these up on the board every week for people to see things that are going on. So things that are going on. These normally fall under announcements, and we'll get them under announcements.
Is it the foundation lunch or is it the foundation dinner?
Yeah, two.
That's,
It's a cook your own steak thing.
Oh, okay, all right.
that's exactly. I just learned a valuable lesson.
I'm cutting in deep.
It's a barbecued steak. 2 o'clock. I really like dinner early, like really early. So yeah, sure, it's a dinner. And I just learned a valuable lesson from Dustin that that's why you don't put this stuff up on the board. You just let the meeting happen, and then Dick puts it in the newsletter, and it works out better.
Can we add a few while people have their calendars in front of them?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to have announcements, but hey, if you have something, let's throw it
Because
on
they're
there.
looking at their calendars. So October 6th, after you chill and enjoy pastels on the plaza, then we're going to go up to Humboldt State. It is homecoming. And so we'll tailgate for homecoming for the last year ever. And we'll have our own little tailgate area there. And then we'll go to the game 4 to 6. And then the game starts at 6. So that's also on October 6th. And then the following Friday, which is Arts Arcada, it's Arts Brass Arcada, and that is, I know, they do it fun. They got a whole brass band, and on that night, which is the following Friday, and I'm forgetting the date, but it's the Friday, the second Friday of the month, Arts Arcada. Also on that night is a ball gown walk. And I think that we're going to step up our RISE game and do a ball gown walk. And for our guest, RISE, R-I-S-E, is Rotary Involvement Strengthens Everyone. And so it's that we don't just do service together, we have fun together, and that's what makes our club strong. So the tailgate and then the ball gown walk. And it's Main Street, City of Arcata, Arcata Police, and we're all dressed in fancy and strolling from the creamery and looking at all the spectacular art and winding up here with drinks and goodies. And it is all for raising awareness for prevention of domestic violence month. I don't know why they came up with a ball gown walk for that effort, but I'm in.
I do have one question about that. Is it a get fancy dress up?
It's
or is
get
it ball
fancy.
gown? Because
No,
I
it's
look
get
really
fancy.
weird in a
So
ball gown.
I'll send
you'd look
the
great.
info, but it's literally wear a wonderful dress that you never have a chance to wear a tuxedo, wear a suit, wear a prom dress, wear a wedding dress, wear a ball gown, wear whatever. And there's dozens of people who have already said they're going to do it, and it sounds like a complete kick. And anyone who knows me knows that I just happen to have a ball gown that wants to go strolling.
3 or 4.
I will send the email, but it's Arts Brass Arcada. And there are 2 of them, homecoming and ball gown walk.
I guess I could just move to announcements.
Yeah, I'm done with those.
I had a calendar item as well that I will get to Dick.
that I just confirmed yesterday. So we have helped with the annual cross-country championship. So yesterday was the first K through 8 cross-country championship. They had 301 runners yesterday. I don't know if you guys know, this will be, I think, our 8th or 9th year helping to support the championship for that event. When we first started doing it, there were maybe like 100 runners. So our involvement, especially with the end of the year run, has really helped make this a big deal. So that's going to be October 18th. So that's a Thursday, October 18th, about a month from now. And we'll need folks like we typically do. We put them out on the course so that the kids don't get lost. We have kids at the finish line to make sure they stay in line and they don't like cheat and get out of order. We have folks grabbing tags and putting them on. And then if you're available, the president gets to hand out they actually get medals at the final race. And if you're not available, I usually grab Terry or some other former president or something.
The date?
It's October 18th, Thursday, October 18th, and I'll get that to Dick, and I'll get it to your thing, and I'll send out a sign-up genius so that everybody can sign up. I'll get on that.
During the day, morning?
It's in the afternoon, so typically I need volunteers, like from 3 to 6-ish time period. So, thanks.
And the ball gown walk was the 12th at 5:30. October 12th, 5:30.
Hey, next week, a week from Sunday, we have a little bit more work to do over at the Little A House, Little House A. Out in Samoa, we gotta paint the eaves, so I could use, a couple, 3 people. Yeah, right.
Or people with ladders.
Stuff like that. I'll remind you next week and tell you what time we figure that out. I'm gonna go by this weekend and kind of rinse it off a little bit because it's been a while and it's been sitting out there unpainted just on the eaves. But we need to get in to finish that up because evidently they're going to do a dedication of it that following week. So yeah, think about that for now.
That's on Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday the 30th.
Yeah, and so I was going to say our tentative plan, almost solid plan, is on the is on October 2nd to do a little ribbon cutting and photo op. Just drop by 5:30. Real short, and Dan Johnson will be there, one of our members. So, so come on if you want to, help and see Dan, and also celebrate the completion of the Manila Community Resource Center, also known as Little House A. So, okay, great.
So it was Sunday the 30th, at what time?
For painting. Painting. What time for painting?
I'm thinking that we would want to get in there kind of early to do it so that we could make lunch over here at Rita's on Sunday. So I'm thinking, probably 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. But let me look it over and try to estimate.
A lot of spraying and backtracking.
I don't think we're going to spray anything, but we're going to, maybe just go around it twice. Something like that. I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Go for it, Jennifer. I'm
Okay.
just gonna keep going if you don't take it.
Arcata High homecoming is the 19th, Friday the 19th. So if you have a business or you're out here, make sure that you see the parade 12:30-ish. Interact will have a float. So yeah, that's the 19th, and the game that night against Hoop Up at HSU.
We have an opportunity tomorrow morning to do trail work off of the Arcata Community Forest. We had 20 people sign up last year. We're up to 12 now. I'll pass this sign-up sheet around for those of you who missed the meeting last week. Please sign up. We're going to be working on trail number 4 from 9 to 12, and then they'll provide a hot lunch. To get there, you go up Fickle Hill Road to where Trail 9 parking lot is located. You'll see a lot of cars parked there. That's where you want to go to, and we'll meet there, and then they'll take us up to Trail 4, and we'll do that work. So 9 o'clock. So working from 9 to 12, and then having a hot lunch, really good hot lunch, they'll provide for us at noon. So please join us.
Analog sign-up genius, always the best.
I have a RISE event
September 28th, which is Friday next, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We're showing it at the Eureka Theater. Tom and I are both on that board, and if anyone wants to not dress up in gowns, but maybe as an Oompa Loompa or whatever, you know, we're going to do that at 7:30. The movie starts, doors open at 7, and it'll be fun. Let me know, or just show up.
Next Friday.
Yes, next Friday.
One more?
I know this is kind of early, but
Oh God, here we go.
Taste of the Holidays, November 15th. And who's on my committee? Will you all stand?
Yay!
All of you help. So you guys don't think that I'm doing it all by myself. Okay.
But you have.
Anyway, so we've printed out the tickets, we've printed the flyers. Hopefully next week we'll start handing out the tickets. Everybody gets 10 tickets, and you're to sell them hopefully as soon as you can. And if you need more, then we will get more. And if you're not able to sell them, please give them back so that we can pass them on to somebody else that can. But it's an awesome event. It's one of our biggest fundraisers that we have in the year, and everybody is going to be a part of it. So, okay, November 15th.
Never too early to taste the holidays.
No.
So since Ed's not here, I'll make the announcement for him. The annual Foster Youth Party is not going to be at the Bethel Church this year. It's going to be December 5th at the Arcata Community Center. And next month, in 3 weeks, we're going to have another TABE meeting, and we're inviting anyone who wants to participate and make food or whatever to show up to that meeting. It'll be at the Coast Central Bank in McKinleyville, October 3rd at 5:30. So keep your eye out for the email. He's going to send an email out
And
to
the
you.
community dinner was the 5th of December?
Yeah, December 5th.
Perfect. All right. On to the thank you. So, Rotarian of the Week. Since last week, I totally was trying to act like someone else, so I didn't remember to do this. And since Maggie was so good-natured about it, she was last week's Rotarian of the Week. So, yay!
I gave Matt was last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't you remember?
I should have remembered that. Yeah. See, I was so in character so deeply that, yeah, I guess I messed that up. Because you're not the Rotarian of the Week this week. That's Julie. Yay, Julie! Rotarian of the Week because I don't remember to thank her a lot,
I'll stand for you.
and she does lots of awesome stuff for us that's in the background, and so people don't see it or think about it, but when you see pictures and everything that comes out, anything that's done in media, that's because of Julie.
Yeah, Julie.
So, thank you. All right, you're gonna really love this slide. You like this, Finn? I did a really bang-up job on this one for you. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. I had no new pictures for you, and I knew we were doing something with baked goods. So, that's what I have. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, so I would like to sell some cupcakes and some cake. And if you like to, I think how does it work now? So if you like to get a cupcake or a cake there in front of the table, it is show up and yeah.
So make a big donation.
Make a donation into the coffee can.
So it's a fundraiser for Finn, so he can go on some of his Rotary trips that he's very excited about. Because we got so much going on today with the district governor and pictures and everything, we're not going to do an auction. We're just going to do donations. So there's the coffee pot over there. There's cupcakes and there's cake. If you want to buy the whole cake, you can. If you want to buy a piece, you can buy a piece. There's plates and foil and whatever. So. Please, we don't want to take any of it home. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I want to get the raffle out of the way so I can give her the entire rest of the time. So, raffle. And I think that we need to make sure that we let Barb draw the ticket.
Oh, yeah.
How much?
$20.
Last three are 294.
294.
Great.
Oh, sorry guys.
Dollar on the table.
Dollar on the
What is with that?
There's only 2 of those in there.
All right, one more.
One more.
Last three are 267.
We need to have more dollars. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I think so.
We need to have more dollars. One more dollar.
So, I kind of feel like the introduction thing is really weird, because I almost want to have you do it again, because now everybody knows, no? You don't want to do it again?
No.
You know, you're not a team player today. We'll just let Barb do it then. That's fine. I'm sure Barb.
Everybody, good morning. My first thing is I'm gonna buy a cupcake. Which one's the best one, Finn?
Hopefully both.
Thank you. Thanks for cooking them.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's great to be with you again. This is a fun club. This is great. I love this breakfast morning energy. So I want to spend a little bit of time. We're going to do a couple of things together. And the first thing I want to talk about is I want to share with you a little bit about our theme this year, Be the Inspiration. So every year the Rotary International president for the entire globe gets to choose the theme for the year. So Barry Rassin, who's this year's president, is from the Bahamas. He's from the Rotary Club of East Nassau in the Bahamas. And so he's the one that came up with the theme of Be the Inspiration, which I love that. I really like that. You know, you never know when you're governor in training kind of thing. It takes a long time, and you go through governors in front of you, and everybody gets the theme, and you go, oh boy, I'm glad I don't have to try to work with that. I wonder what it's going to be the year I'm governor. But this one I love. This is wonderful. Be the Inspiration. And when Barry announced this theme to all the governors in the world, so every year, the last bit of training that you get to be governor, they bring all 535 district governors from around the world come to San Diego in January for a week. And we work together, we learn the theme, and it is an incredible experience to be with governors, with your peers from around the world. So we don't share the same countries necessarily, or our cultures, or backgrounds, or food, or anything. But what happens is we have big general sessions, and then we have breakout sessions in rooms. And you can go into a room and be assigned to a session and sit down at a table with about maybe 15 or 16 people in it. And then of those 15 or 16 people, there will be individuals from maybe 11 or 12 different countries. Right? So you'll have 12 countries represented in the room. And we can all sit down and have a conversation about membership, about the four-way test, about the foundation. And it's a pretty incredible experience to be able to share that with that many people you've never met before, and just sit down and talk. It was really spectacular. So Barry, when he was announcing the theme, he was on this big stage. The entire thing behind him was video, and there was waves lapping on the shoreline at sunset. So it was just this really lovely thing. And he was standing up there and he said, where I come from in the Bahamas, nothing is higher than a couple of meters tall unless you build a second story on your house. And so everybody where I come from is surrounded by water. So water is a central part of our lives in the Bahamas. So we had to have water, had to come into the theme. So the first element of the theme is a wave. So if we look at, you can look at it on the cards at your place as well. So the first element is a wave. And he said there's a wave because the ocean is powerful. The ocean is a force of nature, and it surrounds the world. And he said, you know what? Rotary is the same. Rotary is powerful. Rotary is a force, and it's everywhere in the world. And the second element in the theme, if you look right in the center, is a heart. So there's a heart at the center of everything that Rotary does. And I thought that was kind of neat. I actually didn't see it until he pointed it out to me, which is funny for someone who spent their entire life doing cardiac research. But from my perspective, they don't look like that. But there's a heart at the center of everything that Rotary does. And the third element in the theme is if you're out on the bay and you're on a sailboat and the wind is really light, when you're out there you see everybody's got their spinnaker out. So the spinnaker is that sail out in the front of the boat that picks up the really light wind. Right? So it's out in front leading. And he said, and that's the third element. There's a sail out in front because Rotary is out in front leading the way in the world of service and making the world a better place. So he built the theme around those three elements. The wave and the power of Rotary, force of nature everywhere, a heart at the center, and being out in front leading the way. And I was just so grateful to have him explain it that way. I'm just like, there's a theme, I can really work with that. And I can't wait to get out and share it with people. So it's the first thing we talk about when we get together with all of the clubs in the district. So we have 47 clubs in the district. We go from Petaluma to the Oregon border. We have close to 2,500 Rotarians, and everybody's going to hear about how this theme came to be. I think it makes it just a lot more rich when you understand kind of all of those elements. So staying with this theme of inspiration, I want us to do something together this morning. So we put out cards. Everybody's got a card at their place. Everybody's got pens. Everybody got a pen? Have you got a pen? So what we're going to do is we're going to answer 4 questions together. Everybody got it? Sophie got to do this the other night. We did it with the Rotaractors the other night. We're going to answer 4. Did you see what I just did? We're going to answer 4 questions. And you're taking it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Do you want me to edit that out?
Help me, Howard. 4 questions. Exactly. We're going to go like
Barb, I can edit that out and we can do take 2.
Take 20 seconds. Take 2. 4 questions. All right, the first question on your card, please. I want you to think about someone who has inspired you. Think about someone who's inspired. We've all had lots of people inspire us. Think of one of those people and write down that person's name on this card, please. And the second question is, what specifically did that person say or do that meant so much to you? What did they say or do? And then the third question is, how did that inspiration change your life? How did that change you? being inspired by that person? How did it change you? And then the fourth question is, going forward, what are some of the things that you can do, maybe through Rotary, to honor that person's contribution to you? What can you do through Rotary to honor that person? All right, so when we look at our cards, it's kind of, when you look down and you see that person's name, it's kind of nice to see that person's name in print, isn't it? It's nice to think about the folks who have inspired us. So I'll share with you what's on my card. So the answer to the first question on my card is a gentleman by the name of Tom Glenn. And I call him Daddy. Right? So my dad is my inspiration. And what did he do? My dad was always there for me. My dad used to say to me, and he's the only person in the world who's ever been allowed to call me Barbie. Right? Do I look like a Barbie? No, I'm not a Barbie. Right? You don't do statistics and be Barbie. So, but my dad always called me Barbie baby. And my dad used to say, "You can do it, Barbie baby. I know you can." My dad said that to me from the time I was a little kid learning to ride a bike, right? Or when I was going out for the basketball team at high school, right, or college. Or I was going to, shall I take that job? Shall I go to Paris? Should I go live in Paris for a year and do that job? My dad was always, "You can do it, Barbie baby. I know you can." And so it was a great gift from him in my life. And he said it to me for my entire life. And he had one other thing that my dad always said that was great. My dad always used to say, "It's nice to be nice." My dad led with nice. He was always the nicest person in the room, and he just believed the best in everybody. And people responded to that in ways. I watched that work in so many times, in so many circumstances, in so many places. It was amazing to watch how it's nice to be nice is a great way to start any conversation, anything you do, when you meet people. It's great. So Daddy would always say, "You can do it. I know you can. And it's nice to be nice." So what are the results? What are the results of that on me? Well, I'm basically fearless about trying new things. I go, yeah, I'll try it. Why not? You know, some things I'm good at, some things I'm not. I don't fly airplanes anymore. You know, but I do have my pilot's license. You know, you throw your pink body up in the sky, and you think, all right, the only thing between me and catastrophe is my skill set. Right? So you do that. I don't fly anymore. I don't ride a motorcycle anymore, but I have those licenses. I walk into cardiac surgeries that don't faint, and that's a good thing. So my dad got me, you know, you get to do a lot of things when someone's telling you you can do it. If you believe you can do it, you get to do a lot of different things. The other thing I do is I encourage other people, because I know how much fun it is to go learn new things, and how exciting it is to add a skill set to whatever skill sets we've got. It's great to be able to learn stuff, and it's fun. So I always encourage people to learn and do and try stuff. And the other thing is I look for the best in people, because why not? You know, it's in there somewhere for some people, right? It's in there somewhere, go get it, go find it, because it's there. It's at the heart, it's at the center, right? And then going forward, how do I honor my dad? Well, this message is being said at every Rotary meeting I'm at this year. Right? And so we have 47 clubs, we have 2,500 Rotarians, and everybody's going to get to meet my dad. And that's about as good as I get. I tell my brothers, I can't believe what I'm doing with the Rotary clubs. This is really, really great. Everybody's getting that orientation around dad. So it's really, really good. I share that enthusiasm. I talk about opportunities, right? And we do what matters. So everybody's got an inspiration story, and it makes us feel good, and it helps us kind of move forward. So who would like to talk about who's on their card? Yes, Steve.
You know, in being in business, I often would want to learn more about being in business and how to be a better leader. And there's a ton of books out there, right? You know, you go to the airport, which I travel a lot, and you always stop at the bookstore and you get something. And I got a lot of books on CD from the library because I would drive a lot. And I got one from one guy who's a motivational speaker, Zig Ziglar. Somebody knows Zig Ziglar. His name, of course, is really intriguing, so I'm not listening to him. But he had one quote, and it's usually if I read a book on business or listen to a CD and I get one kernel out of the whole book, it's totally worth it. And that's all I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be a great book. And one quote of his that I remember and I like to live by, he says, "You can get anything you want in life as long as you help enough other people get what they want."
Yeah.
Which seems so counterintuitive, because isn't it every time isn't it about me trying to gather what I want, and his whole theme was, no, you find out what other people want, you help them get it, and the net result is you end up with what you want. And that's really what Rotary is about, right? We're here to help other people, and for us, it's like the payback, right? We're here because of the fellowship, and we know we're doing good work in the world, and if we're going out and trying to help enough other people get what they want in the world and what they need, our rewards come naturally, and we don't have to fight for them. And so we live in a world of abundance, and if we share that with our talents and our resources, everything will come back that we're ever going to need ourselves.
Absolutely. That's great. Thank you. So anybody else?
Nobody's going to want to follow that.
It's a beautiful one. That was a beautiful one. But we've got inspiration in every seat in the house. So everybody's got a card. How many people have parents on their cards? Yeah, parents are important. How many people have siblings?
This club consists of
I
the
have
eldest
to
born
say,
and all.
there's a pattern. There's a pattern. We don't see a heck of a lot. We see some, but we don't see a heck of a lot. How many people have coworkers? They're big in our lives too. Right. So there's our cards. We've got our inspiration. What we can do is, we can take these home and just stick it up on the wall in your office. And if you're having a bad day, something sort of aggravates you, you can always go over there and go, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with Daddy or Zig or whoever is on your card and make yourself feel better. The other thing you can do, and there is intentionality around this. So these cards were made so that they fit in a number 10 envelope. Right. So one thing you could do with them, depending on who's on your card, is you could take a Post-it, a little yellow Post-it. You can take a Post-it. You can say, "Thank you, I love you." Stick it on there. Stick it in a number 10 envelope. Mail it to them. How cool would it be if that person's still with us? Right? How cool would it be to send that to them? This card, when we're done with it, I'm gonna put a little sticky on it. I'm gonna send it to my youngest brother. I'm gonna say, "Talked about Daddy for like 6 months." Right? And he will really enjoy that. we're finding, you know, when we have these conversations and people are sharing, we're having some amazing experiences. We had an amazing experience the other night, right, Sophie? It was so powerful. We were here with the Rotary actors, and when we did this with you know, a small group, it was magnificent what somebody shared with us, wasn't it? It was really, really powerful. So that's what we wanted to share a little bit, is sharing the inspiration. So the other thing we want to do is when we talk about inspiration, it's great to be inspired, but as Rotarians, we want to take that inspiration and we want to turn it around into action. So our district theme this year is do what matters. Right? So from the district perspective and the governor perspective, I don't have a project that I'm going to give to the clubs and say, go do this because I'm the governor and this is what I want you to do this year. I believe that every club in this district is an inspiration to the community you're in, and you already know how to do what matters. Not only do you know how to do what matters, you know what it is that matters. So in this community, the Rotary Club is the central part of the community, and you're doing these things. I heard about some of them last night with the house that you're working on, as well as some other projects. You already know what matters in the community, and you're doing it. So thank you, because we're all in this together. We're all part of this as a team, and it's important. The other thing I wanted to talk about is everybody's got a little save the date card. So this is our district conference next year. It's the Rotary 4-Way Fest. It's going to be in Reno, the third weekend in May, the weekend before Memorial Day. So you can make like a total party out of it and stay up there for the week. We're going to do a long weekend up there. So we're going to do it with 4 districts this year. We've got ours. We have the district to our immediate south, which is 5150. That's the Marin County, San Francisco, and San Mateo. And then we have the third group is 5160, which is adjacent to us. They run like parallel to us. And the fourth is Reno itself. So the 4 districts are going to converge, and we're basically going to take over the Peppermill for a weekend. We've got a golf tournament scheduled for the day before, so if they're golfers, it's at a really cool golf course in the Reno area. We're going to have a walk to end polio, so we're going to walk around the lake. We're going to walk around the little lake in Reno, not the big blue lake. I don't know, it takes a long time. We'd have to start now to finish that one. We're going to be doing service projects. We'll have breakout sessions. There's something that's kind of fun about doing a district conference where you get a bunch of districts together, is you get to find out what other people usually do with theirs. And we're going, yeah, let's do that. We'll pull this in, we'll pull this in. So 5150 swears to us that karaoke for polio is fun. I'm like, really? So you can do one of 2 things. You can pay $50 to sing a song, or you can pay $1,000 and I'll stop singing. It's going to look good. That $1,000 will be the best $1,000 you ever spent. Right? There'll be a poker tournament. We've got entertainment. We have Dave Drevecki, the baseball player, former Giants baseball player. He's going to be our speaker on Friday night. He's supposed to be a great speaker. We have Mike McGuire is going to be speaking on Saturday at lunchtime. We have a couple of really interesting short speakers coming in as well. And that's kind of the beauty of doing a bigger conference, is that you draw on everybody's contacts. Right? So it's going to be really fun. Ron Burton is a past RI president and chair of the Rotary Foundation. Will be there, and that's kind of an honor. So the code for the discount on the hotel rooms is on the back. So you just the phone-in number and the promo code. And then the sign up for the district will be coming out on the website shortly. So everybody's invited. We're gonna have fun, lots and lots of fun, and hope to see you there. It'll be good.
This is one of the best hotels in Reno, you guys, and you know how often I go to Reno. It is plush. It is absolutely one of the best.
It's got a 3-story, the spa for if you're a spa person at all. You know, it's got like the biggest, I don't know, what is it, 150,000 square feet of spa, 3-story size, kind of thing. And there's a nightclub on site. It's a big party place. It's good. We'll have fun. So there's your personal invitation, and I'm hoping to see you there. So the next thing I want to spend, I know we want to finish up about 8. So I want to open up. Anybody have any questions for me? We can play Stump the Governor. When we were doing the river rafting trip with the youth exchange students, we did that in Willow Creek last month. You know, I went on that. We got out on the river, and I was in the first boat with the lead one, and then we had Ian was in the back boat, right? We had all the kids in the boats in the middle. So the conversation with the lead guide is, she said to me, "You're the district governor, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she said, "So I'm assuming you don't want to get wet." And I'm like, "That's a really good assumption." Don't want to get wet.
Can you tell us where we're at with Rotary and Peace Scholars, and do they still do ambassadorial scholars? Those are things, they're district programs, and we haven't heard about them for a long time.
Okay, so
or much about them.
Right. So the Peace program, our district is pretty involved in the Peace Fellows program. So the Peace Fellows, they are looking to actually increase the number of Peace Fellows, because peace is a huge focus in Rotary.
So it's a selection and an investment.
A selection and an investment, yeah.
So how many would we do? What do we do?
Well, we do 50 a year right now.
Well, not us.
No, not our. But our district, we have Lily Goodman Freitas from down in the Petaluma area is our district chair of the Peace Fellows program. So what Lily does is she gets all of the applications from people who would like to be Peace Fellows from around the world. And what we do is in the spring, we do the interviews with those individuals. We Skype with them from wherever they are. And I got to participate in it last year. I was on the panel last year. It is amazing to listen to the stories of people from parts of the world where violence is a daily component of their lives. So we interview those folks, and then the team kind of talks about them, and then we recommend that to Rotary that they move forward in the selection process. Right? So that's our level of engagement right now. We actually have someone named Drew Foxman he's based in San Francisco, and he went to the short version in Thailand, and he's just come back, and he's actually available as a speaker in the district if you'd like to have him come. He's a pretty spectacular young man.
How long is that experience?
For the program, for the Peace Fellows, if you're selected as a Rotary Peace Fellow, there are 5 universities around the world with master's degrees program in peace and conflict resolution. So if you're selected to be a Peace Fellow, you go on scholarship for 2 years, full scholarship to one of those 5 universities as a Peace Fellow. That's the long program. The long program is a 2-year program. The short program is run at a university in Thailand, and it's a 3 to 4 month program. So it's a little bit easier to get people into the program in Thailand than it is to the full 2-year programs.
The ambassadorials, did they drop that? They don't do that
You know what? I don't know that much about the ambassadorial side of it. I'm more familiar with the Peace Fellows because I've participated in it. I don't know that much, but we can find that out for you for sure.
Well, no, we did it for a long time, and there were, we had squid, people come back, stories and all that, but it was a big investment. I mean, we were investing, somebody, and it may just transition. The effort may have transitioned to Peace Scholar. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they've transitioned to Peace Scholars, but I'm not absolutely sure, but we can find out. It's the Peace program the Peace Fellows program is amazing, and Rotary is also, if you're interested in learning about the Rotary involvement in peace, I can send Ray a link to a peace learning center. The Institute for Economics and Peace has just partnered with Rotary about a series of online trainings on peace and conflict resolution, and I started doing these modules, and they're fantastic. They're really, really good. So I want to do one last thing. Ball's already coming over here. So when you're a club president, you get to meet the governor a few times before you take over. One of the times you do that is at pre-pets. It's pre-training or pre-learning for president-elect training. So when we got all of the presidents elected together last winter, we got a session in the South and a session in the North. Everybody sat around tables like this, and I asked all of the presidents-elect to stand up, introduce yourself to your peers. Right? What club are you from? And then I said, give me one word to describe your Rotary experience. Right? We had a flip chart. We captured everybody's words. So we had 47 clubs. We had 47 words. So I took all of the words, and I went to Tom Boylan, who is a Rotarian down south, and I said, make me something with our president's words for this year. So we had him build us a District 5130 Rotary words cloud. This is from our presidents this year. Some of the words are life-changing, exciting, invigorating, compassion, understanding, unique. Somebody said work, friendship, camaraderie, meaningful, family. So these are our District 5130 words. So I've got this for Ray, and I've got a little note. I'm big on notes, so I've got a note for Ray. It says September 21st, 2018, Ray Noggle, President, Rotary Club of Arcata, Sunrise. And then it says, thanks for, first of all, choosing to lead. So leadership is a choice. It's not a position. Every time we lead, it's because we've chosen to do so. Thank you for choosing to lead. Thank you for doing what matters. And thank you for being an inspiration. Enjoy every minute of this year.
We can keep that there. That'll look good. So, on that note, thank you for being our speaker. So we made a donation to the Chair Foundation in your name.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
So,
guys.
thank you for being the inspiration. So, excellent.
Have a good rest of your year.
All right. Well, that was excellent. And so, my quote for today had to end with because I kind of like that. Hey everyone, let's go outside and take a picture. So I said that to myself last night so I could quote myself, so I'm a little crazy, I guess. But on that note, let's take a picture.